Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
And it's time once again
to recommend some stuff.
Vince, you got nothing with you. How are you gonna recommend something if you don't have anything with you? You know how can we have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
I like that. Today I'm recommending Netflix.
Oh, everybody already knows about that.
Yep, there's a movie on Netflix I'm recommending.
You know, Netflix should be paying us.
Yeah.
We give them so much free advertising.
I'm telling you.
Seriously. Anyway.
Today we're recommending a movie on... Don't actually get Netflix, get the movie from Netflix. Well, get the movie
you might need to get
that
Netflix
was on Netflix from somewhere else.
In order to see it if you don't already have... Anyway. So what's the movie, Vince?
I'm not proud that I'm recommending this, but I'm recommending...
Well, why are you recommending it?
Because I liked it.
Oh, okay, all right. What is it?
It's...
Twilight... Oh.
It's kind of... I want to call it a romantic comedy, but the romantic part's not quite as big in the movie.
So it's not romantic?
No,
It just thinks it...
There's a little romance in it,
all right.
but that's not the focus. The focus is more on the family. So this movie is called 2 Days Special. And it's about a guy who is from an Indian family, and it's relevant that he's Indian. So he's a chef, and he basically gets the big middle finger from his boss. He's like the best sous chef his boss can find. So he runs the kitchen, and his boss says, "Yeah, you're not actually good enough to be a chef. You're not original enough." So he says, "Screw you, I'm going to go to Paris, and I'm going to go be an intern for some really famous people." And that falls out of the way of possibility because his dad becomes very sick. So he has to take over his father's Indian restaurant. And it's really charming. There's a little bit of a love story. It's not super prevalent within the movie. But it is there, and it gets enough play to where it makes sense, or it gets enough screen time. And there's a lot of... It's a little corny, especially considering the title of the movie. Today's special being... this is what the special of the day is. And today is special because that's kind of the theme of the movie, is this guy's learning a little bit about life as the movie goes
so
through.
It's kind of a corny double entendre.
Yeah. And I think the reason that I had to recommend this was because I liked its approach to humor. In today's society, humor is so often overstated. Oh, I bit my cheek as I said overstated. Over-enunciated to the point that you bleed.
You're right?
I'm dying!
Do I need to make a phone call? Are you even going to be here while I'm recommending my thing?
Quick, call 411. Yeah, can you tell me the number to 911? So anyway, movies are so often, our comedic movies are so often overstated and a little overzealous, and even if it's not epic, it's still overstated. Like it has to be big in order to be funny.
Yeah.
So somebody's either screaming or somebody's putting someone down for no apparent reason. But there are parts in this movie where the punchline to something is a smile. It's not overstated. It is what it has to be in order to have irony for the joke to work, in order for timing to work out. It's just a pleasant movie. It's a pleasant ride.
So when you said you're not proud of recommending it, is it because it's kind of sappy? Or...
Well, it's a little sappy.
Okay.
Because, part of the thing about it is that it ended a little sappier than I wanted it to, and by the time I got to the end, I was like, I really don't care.
You just liked it too much, yeah.
Yeah, these people are sweet, and...
Isn't it interesting when a movie is working for you so well that it doesn't even matter if the ending is messy?
Yeah, it got to the end, and they had this really stilted dialogue, and it was kind of like, well, this is the theme, and none of us care about the things that we used to care about, because the theme came to fruition.
It's like we all just figured out we were in a movie and trying to sell you an idea.
Yeah, I mean, some of the people at the end come a little too quickly to their revelation, but and also some things in there feel a little bit fabricated at the end, so I would say this has third act syndrome a bit, but the people are just so charming. I think charming is the best word to use, and I enjoyed it. I liked it quite a lot. There's not a lot more to say. So, it's not a great movie. It's kind of typical in the way of what you would expect a romantic comedy to be, but it's a nice callback to comedies that don't have to be overstated, and that's why I liked it, because it came out in like 2012, so
Yeah, cool.
It's a pretty recent flick.
Today I'm going to recommend something that's going to sound a lot lewder than it really is. Today I'm recommending Adam West Naked. What? What? Adam West? Cap, could you show us that again? Adam West Naked. Cap, could you show us the back? Yes. Okay, so this is a kind of bootleggy thing that Adam West put out. And I'm assuming that there wasn't a more commercial, like, polished-looking version of this thing. I'm pretty sure that the only box art that exists for this thing is this. Like, this is how he put this out. This is this incredibly underground thing that Adam West made by himself with, like, $0. In his basement with a couple of cameras. He's by himself. No one else is helping him with this thing. There are a number of places where he's hilarious. There are a number of places where he's talking to the camera and he'll be like, "Wait, hold on, I don't want to talk about this until you come a little bit closer. Come closer." And then he's got like a remote control, and so he zooms. So it's just like come. Okay, all right, we're ready to talk. Thank you for coming closer. It's hilarious. And what he does in this is he goes through every single episode of Batman and talks about his experiences on the show. Every single episode. He's got a list in front of him. He goes through every episode. It's on 2 discs. It's like 3-4 hours. And I haven't watched through all of it yet. I've been through the first disc. And it's this really kind of fun, laid back, incredibly unplanned out, like no work at all went into this, but it's kind of fun because it's like you're sitting having a conversation with Adam West, and he's just and I mean like
he leads the conversation, guys. Don't worry.
And like I said, he doesn't he didn't really plan anything other than here. You know, I've got my list of episodes, and also he shows you some of his memorabilia and some of the stuff from the show that he had that he still has and stuff. But then there are a few gags here and there that he clearly came up with on the spot. Where like there's a part where his daughter calls him up for, and I don't know if this was planned or not, where his daughter calls him up for dinner, and he's like this is the problem with shooting things at home, is that like people interrupt you and you have no privacy, and he complains about it, and it's hilarious. And then it cuts, and then later he's shooting either like early in the morning or really late at night, and he's in like his PJs or something, and he's like okay, so now there's nobody here to interrupt us. And it's fantastic. So yeah, this is really insightful. You learn a lot, and it's also quirky and absurd because that's Adam West and he's talking about Batman. So it ought to be like that. But I don't know how easy this is to get. Somebody. This just happened to me on eBay. I've looked it up a few times since then and can't find a single copy. Somebody sent me a tweet. I wish I had the name here. I'm less organized than Adam West was making this.
Thank you, tweeter.
I want to say thanks to the person who sent me that because they probably knew I was going to go buy it, and so I was out more money, but I was like, I have to get that, I have to have this, and so it was like, I think I got it for like $20, but you don't see it very often. It's hard to get. So anyway, this might be more of a you'll so want this, but if you can ever get your hands on it, it's neat. I'm sure that there will be plenty of special features on the 66 box set when that comes out this year, but you're not going to get this. You're not going to get Adam West talking about every single episode and discussing what it was like working with, and he's really candid, what it was like working with different guest stars and people, and he's like sometimes it sounds a little bit fluffy, a little froofy, where he's talking about just how great certain people were, and then he'll get to someone and he'll talk about how hard they were to work with, and how difficult they were on the set. And he's very respectful, but you can tell that he's not pulling his punches anywhere. And anyway, anybody that's a fan of this, or even anybody that just thinks Adam West is really funny, this is totally worth watching. And no, Adam West is not actually nude in this. It's called that because he's like putting himself on display and telling you things he's never talked about before. So he's kind of making himself vulnerable and making you feel like you're at his house with him. It's also hilarious because he's in his very dingy looking basement. And there's a couple parts where he starts talking about how the fumes are getting to him and stuff. Like, it's really hilarious.
There's like a plate of pizza rolls. His chain starts to itch. There's a reference for those of you who get it.
Yeah, that was good. That was great, man. That was more disturbing than what I was talking about. Yeah. Anyway, but like I said, I haven't watched all of it yet. But what I've seen, I thought was quite entertaining and informative, and I'm glad I bought it. So anyway, that's what I recommend today. And in the meantime, Vince and I will be with you again next week, where we'll recommend other stuff, possibly things that are even in our hands. Both of us, maybe not.
I'll have the whole world.
The whole we might not even we might not even be giving Netflix free advertising next time.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
It's possible that we'll recommend something that's not about Netflix. Well, this is not about Netflix. This should be on Netflix though. That seems like exactly the kind of thing that they should put on Netflix. Anyway, thanks again for watching. We sure appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. I'm Captain Logan,
and I'm Vince. Hurts.